Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the first online information evening we've ever had in May 2020. Welcome to all prospective students and parents to our information night. Let me first acknowledge the Wurundjeri people as the traditional owners of the country upon which we work and learn at Gisborne Secondary College. We recognise their continuing connection to land, water and community, and pay respects to elders past, present and emerging. If you haven't met me before, my name is John Morley. I'm a very proud principal of Gisborne Secondary College, particularly proud of our school and community, and start to slowly emerge from the COVID-19 lockdown. I think what this has shown us is the importance of the way families and teachers and students and carers can work together. And you know, while getting through a difficult time, really learn some really valuable things that we can take forward as a school. Indeed, if there's one concept I'd like you to take with you after tonight is that if you choose to send your child to Gisborne Secondary College, you are sending your child to a school that places your child's health and well-being to the forefront of everything that we do. And most important, after what we've all been through recently, that health and well-being are a main focus of our work. We also do this in open communication and partnership with our parent community. There's no doubt that choosing the right secondary school for your child and your child choosing their secondary school is a key decision in life, but a really exciting decision. And I hope that tonight you get a sense of the range of opportunities and experiences that we can offer your child as they move from primary school into early secondary school and then beyond. Gisborne Secondary College, we have four key values: respect, innovation, achievement, and diversity. Respect for each other is a crucial element of our school culture. We see it in the language that we use in the schoolyard, in the classrooms, the corridors, the staff rooms, and the way that we treat each other, and the way that we strive to bring the best out of each other. We strive for excellence in all fields of endeavour, and we encourage and celebrate creativity and innovation. And I think we've seen so much innovation over the last couple of months among our students and staff that it certainly has brought that value to the fore in our community. Innovation, not just in the learning tasks and the teaching practice that we bring, but the way our children and our students respond to those. And in our teaching and learning and all our approaches to problems and challenges that we face. The celebration of diversity in our school culture and community means that we are a school that promotes understanding and cultural richness, because we know that we're preparing our young people for a diverse world outside our school. And their acceptance and celebration of diversity will be a key to creating a healthy and thriving community that they will then enter and create. On a more personal note, I have been principal of Gisborne Secondary College since 2018. Before that, for more than 20 years, I've been a teacher, a leading teacher, a coordinator and an assistant principal at the school, but also a parent of children that came to the school. So I have a deep and abiding commitment to making this the best possible school for your child. As a school, I believe that we must be really rigorous initially in understanding the needs of your child and his or her individual characteristics and context. And as a school, we need to adjust our practice to meet the needs of your child rather than expecting your child to adjust to us. The heart of my educational philosophy is the belief that every child can learn and develop, and the school should be a place where they thrive. Many years ago, I was in your position, and the decision I made to send my children to this school was not made lightly, but it was made in the knowledge that it was a deeply caring school with fabulous teachers, and today that stands true more than ever. My trust and faith in the staff of this school was amply rewarded in the way things turned out for my children. Look, we're not perfect. We are a big, varied, busy, bustling, diverse and exciting secondary school. But what better way to prepare your child for a big, bustling, wide and diverse world that awaits them after secondary schooling? This evening, apart from me, you'll hear from our teaching and learning leader, Andy Flores, who will give you an overview of our teaching and learning program from year 7 to 12. You'll hear from Russell Wigington, our assistant principal, overseeing the year 7 to 9 junior school. Both Andy and Russell have pre-prepared presentations, which I'm now, in a moment, going to attempt to smoothly transition to, but be a little bit patient with me on that. Following Russell, Belinda O'Mara, our student wellbeing leader, will speak about the college's exceptional range of support services. Transition Coordinator Anna Hall will then outline the 2020 transition process, which obviously is going to be different from previous years, given that we are still, in limited transition back to our full school life. Know also that we can't offer school tours as we have in past years. I'm not sure when we'll be able to do that again, but certainly we're always available for your phone calls, your emails and contact about any issues or concerns or questions that you might have. I'm going to hand over to Andy now. I'm going to share the screen so Andy can give her presentation, and then there'll be a slightly clumsy handover as I put up Russell's presentation and share that screen with you. So just bear with me.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Andy Fleuris and I am the leader of Teaching and Learning at Gisborne Secondary College. I'm here to speak to you tonight about the curriculum that we deliver at Gisborne. What I will start with is one facet of the school that we are extremely proud of, is that we consider all our students as the individuals that they are, and that we can be proud to say that we do our absolute best to cater for each of our students' individual pathways, whether that is to move on to further education or if it's to enter the workforce. Tonight I will provide you with a brief overview of our curriculum from our junior years right through to our senior end of the school. At years 7 to 10, we deliver the Victorian curriculum and we offer quite a range of subjects. This can be seen in our year 7 to year 8 curriculum overview. One study that may stand out to you is the Community and Values Project class. This is a program that is delivered within the Year 7 and Year 8 curriculum. It is a subject which offers integrated studies, and primarily the work done during this time is project-based. All our Year 7s and also the Year 8s come together during this time, and classroom teachers work collaboratively to deliver a program that focuses on the student, their development, and the community around them. At Year 9, you will see very similar studies. However, students are given a greater opportunity to select subjects that are of more interest to them. For example, you can see that the Year 9 includes 3 elective choices. And in addition, you can take note of the Raid Day. Raid Day occurs once a fortnight, which involves all Year 9s participating in a range of activities, again with the purpose to develop self-identity and how they can contribute to the community. Year 9 students also participate in a city experience project during this time. At the senior end of the school, we deliver the Victorian curriculum to our Year 10s, and they have a choice of any study they choose, which also includes the options of VCE subjects and also many VET studies. The only compulsory subjects are English and maths, and even with those, within those there are choices that they can make. Our Year 11 and our Year 12 students, we offer both the VCE and the VCAL certificates. Within these studies, students can choose to complete a VET or a TAFE certificate or an SBAT, which is a school-based apprenticeship. All of these can be managed within the senior years. Within the senior school, we also commit 4 periods a fortnight to the 4SP or the Senior School Study and Support Program. Within this time, students work on understanding themselves, in working with others, but also with a strong focus on study skills and understanding life. I can't re-emphasise the strength our school has in ensuring the best options are available to each one of our students, regardless of their chosen career pathway. We also have strong extracurricular programs that are also worth mentioning tonight. We have instrumental music lessons, including voice. We have with our musicals that many students are involved in, or sporting activities in which we compete to many different levels. not to mention all the smaller clubs that run within the school like debating and also equestrian. I'd like to finish that if you have any questions, please add them to the chat space at the end and we'll endeavour to answer all your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. I'll now get Russell's presentation up for you.
Good evening and welcome to the webinar. My name is Russell Wigginton and I'm the Assistant Principal here at Gisborne Secondary College. I've got responsibility for the junior school, which is years 7 to 9. I won't talk so much tonight about the core subjects and the elective subjects that your students will have on offer when they arrive at the school, but there are some other exciting programmes that we offer and ways we do things that might be different to other secondary colleges. For a start, our year 7s when they join the school go into what we call a learning centre. That means that the majority of their lessons will take place in one unique building, a little bit like a primary school. This allows a smoother transition over from the primary space. As I say, they will do core subjects, maths, English, science, PE, humanities, and they will have a language selection as well. But there are also other elective subjects, like the arts and technology subjects, which take part in specialist spaces. We have other programmes that run as well to boost social and emotional wellbeing, like the project programme, which runs at year 7 and 8, and a RAID programme, which runs at year 9. For gifted and talented students, we run something called the Aspire programme, which is a fantastic way for them to excel into that space. Gisborne Secondary College is currently very popular with over 1,200 students, but we will accept all students who fall within our government zone. If you are unsure as to whether you fall into the school zone, you can simply do a Google search for the Find My Schools website. This is a government website which outlines the boundaries of every single state school in Victoria. If you go in there, you go to the box at the top left-hand corner, you can actually type in your address. It will pre-detect any addresses in there, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. And once you've selected your address or typed in your full address, it will show you which school you are zoned for. You can probably see here the Gisborne zone is actually getting bigger this year. So there's a few little settings you must make sure that you have in. Can you, on the left-hand side, ensure that you have it set for 2021? Make sure you are set for the secondary college icon and make sure you're also set for year 7. Another popular question amongst year 6 parents is regarding uniform. Towards the end of 2019 for the start of the 2020 term, the college made some changes to its year 7 and 8 uniforms. Any questions regarding uniform can be checked out at the school website gisbornesc.vic.edu.au. If you go to the About Us tab, there is a drop down which will take you to our uniform section. If you click on this link, it will take you through to give you a little bit of an overview of what the uniform is now. It also highlights the uniform shop, which is Beliza, which exists in Gisborne on the Aiken Street. And there are actual diagrams of what the uniform looks like. One of the key changes was around the more formal shoe and pants and short options that we have. There still exists the sports option, but they are only for students on the days of sport, and there are some accessories available from there as well, which are not mandatory but recommended. Coming from a variety of primary schools, we often get questions regarding our electronic device policy. This is a bit more poignant given the current remote learning that is taking place. Again, information regarding our device policy is available on our school website. If you go to the Resources tab, you will find our BYOD devices. Unlike some primary and secondary schools, Gisborne Secondary College does not dictate which device you have to bring to school. Students at the college have internet access and are able to access all the platforms and programmes that we run in different subjects at the college. If you are currently in a position where you are going to need to purchase a new device, we run a scheme with JB Hi-Fi which enables you to buy a device that is a bit better and cheaper than those that you can buy in store. 80% of students at Gisborne Secondary College come in by bus. Eligibility to come to school by bus is based on the distance you live from the school. There are over 16 public buses which come into the college and one private bus which runs from Bacchus Marsh. This bus is privately funded by a group of parents and we do not envisage it running in the future. Further detailed information on uniform, devices and buses will all be included in your enrolment pack that you will receive from your primary school. So thank you so much for your time and consideration. I hope that we've answered some of your questions here this evening and look forward to meeting you all in person in the not too near distant future. Thanks very much.
And thank you very much, Russell. Just a note about the Bacchus Marsh bus. We do anticipate that the Bacchus Marsh bus will continue to run this year and next year, but of course we'll give you continual updates about the status of that line. The next person I'd like to welcome to the webinar is our Wellbeing leader, Belinda O'Mara. Belinda, are you there?
Good evening, everyone. Tonight I'd like to talk to you just very briefly about the relationship between wellbeing and educational outcomes. I think COVID-19 pandemic has shown us that both of them need to work very closely together. So what does wellbeing look like at Gisborne Secondary College? There's a number of things that I want to talk to you about. Firstly is our school structures. We have a mentor system, so a mentor that your child will meet with each morning. That is a person that is a point of call for your child. That mentor will often teach them for some of their subjects. So it's about looking after the young person, and that regular contact is really important. We also have educational programs. Some of you may be familiar with these in primary school. They may have been called social emotional learning programs. You would have heard the terms tonight, project, RAID and 4SP. We try and continue this type of learning throughout secondary schools. This year we've also introduced or reintroduced peer support, because we think it's really important for some of the younger students to have some of the older students to look after them to help with their transition. What does our wellbeing support look like, and what are some of the services that we do provide? The services that we do provide are to assist students, but also their families with their engagement in education. We do like to work in partnership as much as possible with our families. So we have a range of staff at Gisborne Secondary College. We have a social worker, we have a youth worker, and recently appointed a mental health practitioner who is full-time at the school. We have a chaplain. We have a coordinator for students with disabilities. We call that our PSD coordinator. But we also have access to things like external psychologists that come to the school, and we also have a visiting doctor's service. So what we try and do is we try and provide a service for students and for families. If we can't find or we can't provide the service that families want, then we can help them through our networks to find organisations or support throughout the community. John did mention, and I think it's a really important thing, at Gisborne Secondary College, we want our education to be inclusive. That means meeting the needs of all of our students. Part of that process is about information sharing. It's about professional development of our staff, and it's about our school processes. I think it's really, really important that if you do have any information, so I think Ms. Hall may even talk about this, but as part of your enrolment package, there is a question about assessments. If your child has had an assessment or it has a specific diagnosis, it's really important that that information is shared. The more information that we have about your child, then the better we are able to cater for their needs. Really important, we will treat all of the information that you do provide to the school respectfully and discreetly. And one other thing I'd like to just mention is the school environment. And that's something that I have really noticed coming back from the isolation period. It's a really positive school environment. And something that Gisborne is working towards, and we're in the very early stages, but we're looking at positive school-wide behaviours. So that's another program that some of you may be familiar with in the primary schools. If you do have any concerns about the transition to secondary school, We do offer some additional transition periods or sessions. So please contact Miss Hall and she'll be able to speak to you about the availability of those and if they are able to operate.
Thank you, Belinda. Our next presenter is someone that I imagine you will become quite familiar with as the year unfolds, and that's Anna Hall, our Transition Coordinator. Over to you, Anna.
Thanks, John. Hello, everyone. I'm Anna Hall, and I feel really privileged to have the dual roles of English teacher and transition coordinator at Gisborne. At the very heart of our transition process is the wellbeing of all of our students as they make the big move into high school. This is an exciting time for most, but obviously there's a real level of apprehension as the reality of moving from being the big fish in the small pond to becoming the little fish in the big pond gets closer. Our absolute priority with our transition program is to gather as much information as we can about each student, from you, from their teachers, and from the students themselves. So we're in the best position to support their move to high school, and we can set them on their own path to individual success, whatever success looks like for them. Over the next 6 months, that will be the focus of my work, so that when I hand over the information to the Year 7 team at the start of next year, we have a level of understanding of each kid already. In previous years, we've been able to bring Year 6 students into the school for a day during Term 2 to familiarise themselves further with the surroundings, although I know that a lot of this year's Year 6 kids came in last year in Year 5. Due to COVID-19, we can't do that this year. However, I want to outline the rest of the transition program so you have an idea of what will be happening over the next 6 months. The first step is the application for placement. Now, this process is a little bit different depending on whether your child currently attends a government primary school or whether they attend a non-government primary school. So if your child is at a government primary school, you should have by now received the application placement form. On that form, you put in all of your details and the kids' details, and you nominate the high school that you want your child to attend. The important thing about that is that you then return that to the primary school. Okay, then over the next few weeks, they collate all of that information and they will send me the relevant forms. If your child attends a non-government primary school, so an independent school or a Catholic school, or they're homeschooled, you won't receive that form. So you need to be liaising directly with me at the college and I can get you that form. So you can either go to our website and it's on the home page, you can follow the links and download the form, or just contact me. So you can send me an email tonight or tomorrow and I can send you that form. Ideally, these should be completed and returned to your primary school if it's a government school by Friday, or to me by Friday. But don't panic too much about that deadline. Everything's been pushed out a little bit because of the situation with COVID. Then in August, the enrolment packs will be mailed to all of the families. And within those packs, you will get the Department of Education enrolment form. You'll be asked to select the language that your child wants to learn next year. And there's also a really important parent information form, and this touches on what Belinda talked about before. You'll be asked to indicate if your child has undergone a learning or behavioural assessment, and if you can actually provide that assessment and send it in when you send in the form, that would be even better. Any relevant family background information you want to share, any concerns that you or your child might have about the transition, and any general areas of interest that your child has. Or at around the same time, I will be sending out transition information forms to all of the Year 6 teachers, asking for comments on academic strengths of the kids, any areas where they might need some additional support, and general comments on behaviour and social interactions. Then in Term 4, Russell and I, Russell you heard from before, we then actually go out and visit all of the primary schools. There's 2 reasons why we do this. The first is that we actually then sit down with the Year 6 teachers and we have some conversations about the kids based on the information that was provided previously. And then we have pretty informal Q&A sessions with the kids themselves, and they can ask all the questions that they have, which are mainly around the canteen menu. And We also then give them the information packs, which they will bring home, which has really detailed information on uniform, on the buses, on the stationery you need to buy, the textbook lists, devices, instrumental lessons, and all of that kind of stuff. So you will get all that information in term 4. Then on Tuesday, the 8th of December, all things going well, is this statewide orientation day. So this is the day that every kid who is currently in year 6 will spend the day at their nominated high school. So by then we will have allocated all of the kids into their classes for next year. This year we had 9 classes of about 24 kids. And so the kids spend the day with all of their new classmates, they spend it with their mentor teacher, and they'll meet lots of the other year 7 teachers. And then the final part of this process is in week 2 of term 1 next year. We then hold a year 7 information evening. You'll hear from lots of different teachers. You'll hear more on things like the sporting opportunities, drama and production and all of that kind of thing. I really am the first point of call for any of your concerns you've got, any questions you've got. Please feel free to just send me an email. Just bear in mind that I do teach as well, so I won't always be able to respond straight away, but I'm very aware that this is a exciting yet apprehensive time for everyone, so please feel free to get in touch.
Thank you, Anna. So that really brings us to the conclusion of our webinar this evening. So thank you so much for everyone's attendance and participation tonight. This is the beginning of a really exciting part of your children's journey into secondary school. As you saw from Anna's presentation, there are many more steps to come. And if you can't communicate with Anna, I'm very happy for people to personally email me at the school. I pride myself on my availability to parents of our school and prospective parents as well. Very happy to take your emails at any point. So thank you so much. I will close the webinar now, and we look forward to getting to know you and your children in the forthcoming years. Thank you so much.